Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. Tonight's nightcap, as usual, contains many different things. There's quite a bit of machining, some lathe work. I do some more of those horrible trailer brake drums, and I make a better mandrel to mount them on. I had problems with some of them on the tapers. The housings were actually badly corroded and I wasn't getting a true seating, so I modify the mandrel and get that sorted out. Deb's just the draw for this 16mm drill. I think I said last week it was a number 2 Morse taper. It's not, it's number 3, but it is 16, actually 16.5. Fantastic drill, they really cut well, so that gets drawn this week. There's a little bit of viewer mail came in. A lad called Luciano sent us a package here, and it contains some nice little items for the giveaway. There's 2 nice stainless steel rulers, imperial and metric, and 2 taper gauges for measuring the diameter of holes. You simply slide it into a hole and you can read the diameter off. So I'll be including them in the giveaways for the next couple of weeks. Anyway, thanks very much for that.
Hi everybody, welcome once again to one of John's giveaways. So this is our big bucket, and the winner this week will receive this drill. I think he said a Morse taper drill. You all know how technical I am, so there you go. Nice and interesting. And this week's winner is David Renwick.
Thanks very much for that, Deb, and well done, David. I'll get that posted off to you this week. I'm going to do another draw this week. This week's draw is going to be for the set of dividers. I've got a big box of assorted tools given this week, and in the box was this set of dividers that are actually handmade. They look like possibly an apprentice's piece. They're really well made. You can see the marks on where they've been draw filed. Very practical tool, very strong tool. So I'm going to put them in the raffle or the giveaway, and one of the 6-inch steel rules as well as one of the hole gauges. If you want a chance to win this, all you have to do is send me an email with your name in it. That's my email up there. Your name will go into the bucket, and Dave or myself or Emmy or whoever happens to be here on the Sunday, it'll draw it out. If they draw your name, I'll post the item totally free of charge anywhere in the world. If you don't win, your name stops in the bucket until you win, or until whatever happens to the bucket. All this is just a little way of me thanking people for all the help and support I've had. And I've already got probably 3 pair of them, so it's pointless me keeping them in a drawer. I might as well give them away, and somebody's going to get a really useful handmade tool. I'll get a close-up shot of these. You can see that they're handmade, they're hand riveted. I think even the wing nut's been made. You can see the filing there on the rivet in the end. There's a little bit of writing on there, the numbers I'm not quite sure what it says, but they are certainly a very robust, very strong and very useful item. Included in the giveaway will be a nice 6-inch stainless rule book made in America, metric and imperial, as well as a taper hole gauge. I've got some more of these brake drums to machine, quite a few of them. Remember the last time I did them, I turned the 2 tapers and I machined them between the 2 tapers using the tapers as a drive. That worked quite well. In fact, it worked very well. The problem I've got with these ones is this face here is quite badly corroded. This is one of the better ones. I think they've been running with, as a grease cap goes on there, they've been running with no grease cap on, and that register there is really non-existent anymore. So I think what I'm going to do, down in here where the bearing goes, that's naturally in good condition because the bearing's protected it. I'm going to turn a bush that's a good fit in there, a nice push fit, drill and ream the hole 1 inch again, then I can mount it on my mandrel and still use a taper on the other end. This is worth doing because I've got, as I say, quite a few of these to do, and I'm going to be getting quite a few more. So it's worth spending a bit of time making a jig to mount them on. There's a piece of bar there. It's definitely got a bush inside it. It's just a case of getting it out and getting it installed in there. I'm going to machine it in a 4-jaw chuck. A little bit of practice setting up the 4-jaw chuck will not do us any harm. Right, before you even think about using a clock gauge, you can see that's running roughly 1/4 inch out. So all you do, you find your high spot which is there, loosen its opposite jaw off, nip that one up, and push it across. Straight away it's a lot better. That's within 15 thou. I'll just have a quick traverse up and down it. See, it's running out that way as well, so it's, as well as running out that way, it's landed an angle in the chuck. So before I set it running true round, I'll make sure it's lying square in the chuck. Right, if we move it up and down the job, you can see it's within sort of 1/2 thou, and the surface finish is not that good. So now at least it's running parallel to the machine, and it's within about 5 thou that way. So we'll adjust it to make it run dead true. Getting somewhere near now. High jaw, which is that one. And we're getting pretty near now. And we'll call that done and just nip each one up and turn. Put a light cut on to clean this up. There isn't actually that much metal to come off this bush. One pass and then we'll have a bit measure and see what we're going to be doing with it. Right, I've had a measure up. We need 140 thou off the bar. So I'll take 100 thou straight away and then we'll play the measuring game. Right, that's a 50 thou cut. I don't need the machine working, and that one there is working. I get it near with the vernier and then on with the micrometer, taking that 10, screw the feed rate down a bit as well. Measure down in the a good part of the bore where the bearing runs. .988. Still 20 thou to go. Put a 5 thou cut on, that'll take 10 thou off, and then we'll measure it again. The shaft's 6 thou of our size, so we're getting fairly near. Put a 2 thou cut on, that'll take 4 thou off it. I'm using the DRO here because the layer's metric and it's just easier to. Right, that's 2 thou. Very near, very near. That's what we'll call a squeegee fit. Oh, don't stick on there, you bastard. I think now a light emery tape will do that, and it should go on at that. I'm just going to break that nasty sharp edge first. Make sure it doesn't get too warm. Right, it's going down. That's the bit I cleaned out with a flap wheel. It's going in there and it's just touching on the actual bearing face properly. Actually dead on size. Going on further. I would have had a cigarette while that cooled down, but now I'll have a cup of coffee. Right, it's cooled down now, I'll have my coffee. And that is the dog's bollocks, just a job. Next job's to drill and ream the hole to 1 inch. This is the same drill that's going to be in this week's, or that is this week's giveaway prize. This is a 15-16 drill. After this we'll have to bore it to just under inch and then put the inch reamer in, once it cools down obviously. Just have a measure to make sure. So we're not going over there. The size 9.785. I'll put it through with that, then we'll let it cool off overnight and finish it off in the morning. Then I've got it running nice and slow with the reamer on, so we're only going to be taking straight to 4th hour side out of the hole. All it's doing is polishing and finishing there. Right, notch it right through. A light chamfer at the end of the hole. Right, we'll try the spindle in. Very slightly warm, but nothing to worry about. That's the dog's bollocks fit in there. Take it out of here now, turn it round. machine some of that off and then get the horrible breadcrumbs done. I clean the lathe up before I do the drums and put some paper on the bed to try and catch as much of the cast iron swap as I can. And I'll also set the vacuum cleaner up, the hoover up, so it's sucking the dreaded dust out as it goes. But that's nice fit in there. I've put the collet chuck on the lathe and I'm going to mount the 1-inch arbor into that. We're a 25 to 26mm collet there, which will close down, no problem at all, on the 1-inch. There's quite a few viewers asked as well. I got these collets from the other ones I tested last week or the week before. They come from a company called Collet, UK based company. I'll put a link to them in the description box. I found them to be decent, good to deal with. There's a friend of mine who runs a lot of SNNC machines and he buys most of his tooling from Collet, so it must be decent stuff. We machine that bit off there. In hindsight, I could have machined the I could have just drilled it and reamed it 1 inch and machined it on here, but it would work equally as well this way.